Imagine discovering you're descended from a legendary conqueror. Would it inspire you, or haunt you? For Zahiruddin Muhammad Babur, this was reality. He was Timur's direct descendant, and that legacy shaped his every ambition and setback. Timur, the 14th century conqueror, built an empire from Delhi to the Mediterranean, dreaming of Mongol glory. Centuries later, Babur lost his Central Asian inheritance but, driven by ancestral ambition, turned south to found the Mughal Empire in India. Their connection is more than genealogy. It's a thread through the heart of Central and South Asian history. To understand their saga, we must return to 14th century Central Asia, a land of steppes, Silk Road cities, and fractured Mongol power. Here, legitimacy depended on military might and above all, prestigious lineage. Timur, a Turkic nobleman, lacked Genghis Khan's blood, fueling his ambition to prove himself through conquest and political cunning. He became a master of propaganda and alliances, building legitimacy he wasn't born with. His story, and Babur's, shows how ancestry can be both a burden and a source of power. This is the world that shaped Babur's destiny. Timur was born in 1336 near Kesh, not as a prince, but as a minor aristocrat in a world of shifting alliances and betrayals. An arrow wound left him with a limp, Timur the Lame, or Tamerlane, but it only added to his legend. He saw himself as heir to the Mongol legacy, but without Chinggisid blood, he needed more than force. Timur married a Chinggisid princess, claimed the title son-in-law, and ruled through a puppet Khan. He also cast himself as a devout Muslim, the sword of Islam, waging holy war and uniting Mongol and Persian elites. From Samarkand, he launched brutal campaigns across Persia, Mesopotamia, Anatolia, and India, sacking cities and building towers of skulls as warnings. Yet, he was also a builder, transforming Samarkand into a dazzling capital by relocating artisans and scholars. Timur was a paradox, ruthless conqueror and patron of the arts. This blend of violence and culture defined the Timurid dynasty. It was a legacy Babur would inherit, one of ambition, brutality, and beauty. The stage was set for a new kind of empire. Timur died in 1405, leaving an empire held together by his will. His successors, though less militarily gifted, presided over a cultural golden age, the Timurid Renaissance. Shah Rukh and Ulugh Beg fostered art, science and literature, making Central Asia a global center of creativity. The Herat school of painting flourished, and Ulugh Beg's observatory mapped the stars with unprecedented accuracy. This era valued poetry and science as much as conquest, embedding a love of culture into Timurid identity. But, beneath the splendor, political unity crumbled as princes became rivals. The dynasty splintered into competing courts, each vying for power. Babur was born into this world, refined, yet rife with intrigue and decline. He inherited both the artistic soul of his ancestors and their warrior spirit. The stage was set for a new chapter, one of survival and reinvention. The Timurid Golden Age faded as internal rivalries erupted into civil war. The empire fractured into unstable kingdoms, draining resources and leaving them vulnerable. The Uzbeks, led by Muhammad Shaybani Khan, exploited these divisions, swiftly conquering Samarkand and other key cities. Timurid princes were scattered, killed, exiled, or reduced to wandering. The legacy of Timur in Central Asia collapsed within a century. Into this chaos, Babur was born in 1483, a prince with a grand name, but little land. His inheritance was the small, embattled kingdom of Fergana, surrounded by enemies. Babur's childhood was marked by danger and uncertainty. He became king at 12, but his throne was fragile. The world he inherited was one of lost glory and constant threat. Yet, it was this crucible that would forge his resolve. Babur, meaning tiger, became ruler of Fergana at 12 after his father's sudden death. Instantly he faced threats from ambitious relatives and hostile neighbors. His early years were a relentless struggle for survival, teaching him that a prince without an army was powerless. Above all, Babur longed for Samarkand, Timur's capital, and his birthright. At 15, he captured it, only to lose both Samarkand and Fergana to rivals soon after. This cycle of victory and loss defined his youth, turning him into a wandering exile. In his autobiography, the Baburnama, Babur describes these years of poverty, danger, and despair. Yet, exile forged his character. He became not just a warrior, but a poet and naturalist, finding beauty amid hardship. He wrote poetry, observed nature, and led his followers with resilience. Babur's blend of martial skill and artistic sensibility set him apart. He was a leader shaped by adversity, driven by destiny. The lessons of loss would guide his next move. The dream of empire was not yet dead. After years of wandering, Babur seized Kabul in 1504, finally gaining a kingdom of his own. Kabul became his sanctuary, a place to rebuild, create gardens, and plan for the future. He designed lush gardens, imposing order and beauty on a chaotic world. Yet the dream of reclaiming Samarkand persisted. With Persian help, he briefly retook the city, but lost it again to the Uzbeks. This final defeat forced Babur to accept that his future lay elsewhere. He turned his gaze south, toward the riches of Hindustan. With a tenuous claim to the Punjab, he prepared for a bold new campaign. Babur was now a seasoned survivor, ready to gamble everything. The loss of Samarkand became the turning point, closing one door, opening another. The road to India beckoned, promising a new destiny. Babur's resilience would soon change the course of history. The Mughal Empire was about to be born. Babur's decision to invade India was calculated, not impulsive. He consolidated power in Kabul, studied the fractured Delhi Sultanate, and received secret invitations from discontented nobles. Testing the waters with raids, he prepared his small but disciplined army for the challenge ahead. In 1525, Babur marched toward Panipat, facing Ibrahim Lodi's massive force. Outnumbered, Babur relied on gunpowder weapons and innovative tactics, cannons, muskets, and defensive formations. The First Battle of Panipat was a turning point. Babur's strategy shattered the Lodi army, and Delhi fell. The exiled prince from Fergana was now master of Hindustan. Yet, Babur's writings reveal ambivalence. He found India's climate harsh and its customs foreign. Still, he recognized the land's immense wealth and potential. He had traded the memory of Samarkand for the reality of India. With victory, Babur secured his legacy and founded a new empire. The Mughal era had begun, reshaping the subcontinent. Babur's journey from exile to emperor was complete. Babur's triumph at Panipat was only the beginning. He faced new threats, notably the Rajput Confederacy under Rana Sanga. At Kanwa, Babur's inspired leadership and tactical brilliance secured another decisive victory. In a few years, he laid the foundations of the Mughal Empire, a fusion of Timurid Persian and Indian cultures. The Mughals brought gardens, art, and poetry, blending them with Indian traditions to create a unique legacy. The Taj Mahal, built by Babur's descendant, epitomizes the synthesis. Babur died in 1530, worn out by a life of struggle, and was buried in his beloved Kabul. His story is one of resilience, of a prince who lost everything, only to found one of history's greatest empires. Was it legacy, hardship, or ambition that shaped him most? Perhaps it was all three. Babur's journey shows how adversity, heritage, and vision can change the world. From exile to empire, his legacy endures.